Ever since my husband became a director, he exercises every day. On the night of our 5th wedding anniversary, he was giving a performance at a 5-star hotel in the city center. I waited for him all night, and the delicious dinner I prepared turned from hot to cold. The next day, a photo of him entering the hotel with the young couple was leaked and went viral. Ethan's gossip news has made headlines before, but this time he hurried home and said to me, "Sophia, this is a big deal. The investors are not happy, and if we don't handle it well, my new film might be affected. You know how important this film is to me. The initial investment alone is $1 billion. Can you post a message on Weibo about our amicable divorce? Help me explain. I swear this is just a formality. I won't really divorce you. You know, I'm just having fun with those people outside. My heart is only for you. My wife will always be you." I looked at the cold steak and melted cake on the table and softly responded with a good. Ethan was so happy that he wanted to kiss me. I placed my index finger on his lips to stop him and looked at him seriously. I agreed to the divorce. He didn't seem to catch the deeper meaning in my words and hurriedly picked up my phone to start editing. The last time I saw him this anxious was when a famous actress was hospitalized due to a miscarriage. After finishing the Weibo post, he put his arm around my shoulder and said, "Wife, once my new drama airs, I'll post on Weibo to win you back." I replied, "Then respond to me on Weibo when the time comes," and agreed to reconcile. I quietly listened to the story he crafted and said seriously, "Ethan, I'm serious about the divorce. I'm not just playing a game with you." I took the phone from his hand and started to edit the Weibo post again. However, before I could finish editing, his phone kept ringing, as if urging me, "Darling, don't say things in anger." He gently stroked my eyebrow and said that being angry isn't good for women, it can make them age. "I promise that once this drama is over, I'll make more time to be with you. Haven't you always wanted to go on vacation in Venice? Once this drama is finished, I'll go with you." His phone kept ringing, and this time he got up and walked away to answer it. I paused my fingers, remembering that Ethan has always been quite the flirt. He was like this even before we got married. But since I've been with him for 3 years, he has never changed his heart and promised to treat only me well. I originally thought he had turned over a new leaf, so I accepted his proposal. Unexpectedly, less than a year after we got married, he started to be distracted again. At first, he behaved very well and covered it up nicely. When I discovered he was cheating, he became even more reckless. Over the years, I've cried, made scenes, and begged him, but every time he comforted me, he would repeat the same mistakes. And I have more than once pretended in public with him. This time, I really don't want to pretend anymore. "All right, stop making a fuss, dear." Ethan hung up the phone, walked over to hug me, and said he had some things to handle but would come back early to keep me company tonight. After he finished speaking, he let go of me and turned to leave. After changing his shoes, he looked back at me and said, "By the way, Hermes recently released a new bag. I'll buy it for you in a few days." All the last bits of hope in my heart completely disappeared. Every time he changes to a new partner, he brings me a bag after working out outside. After all, bags really do have a healing effect. It's been 5 years, and in this 50 square meter room, I can't fit any more bags. I lowered my head, continued editing the unfinished Weibo post, and then clicked publish. I've already started writing the divorce agreement. From now on, I am no longer Ethan's wife, but actress Sophia. Less than a minute after posting, I received thousands of likes. Seeing the encouraging comments below, I finally felt a bit lighter in my heart. I turned off my phone and looked at the melting cake on the dining table once again. This is the first time Ethan has forgotten our wedding anniversary. No matter how busy he was before, he always made sure to come home early to celebrate with me on our anniversary. This time, he forgot. I vaguely sensed that this newcomer might hold a different place in his heart. After all, he has never played a role involving divorce before. Sure enough, 2 days later, I met her at the audition. My emotions surged. I knew my intuition was right. This new flame is indeed something else. After seeing my Weibo post, my best friend immediately scolded Ethan for half an hour over the phone before telling me that the renowned director Michael is preparing a big project and suggested I audition for the 4th female role. Well, to be honest, I haven't acted in 5 years, so I can't miss this opportunity to audition. I didn't expect the audition to go so smoothly. Michael was very satisfied with my performance and decided on the spot to let me participate. Hearing this result, my nervousness instantly relaxed. As I walked out of the audition room, I heard Ethan's name after just a few steps. Now that the role of the 4th female lead has been decided, What should I do, Ethan? The voice was soft, even though she was calling Ethan's name and speaking anxiously. It sounded a bit like she was being coy. Last night you clearly said that this role was mine, so why is it already decided without even giving me a chance to audition? I don't care, Ethan. You need to think of a way quickly. All right, stop crying. Look at your little face. It's all red from crying. Ethan gently comforted. Don't cry. You don't look good like this. Don't worry. I'll go ask what exactly happened in a bit. The new girl continued to whimper and act cute. Ethan, you promised me that this role is mine. If someone else takes it, you have to compensate me. Okay, sweetheart, I promise you, I'll give you whatever compensation you want. Ethan's tone was very gentle, as if he was carefully comforting me. Although I have long known he has someone else outside and have experienced many similar situations, for some reason, my heart still feels a pang of pain. After finishing with the young fling, Ethan walked toward the audition room holding her hand. When they turned the corner, I had already adjusted my emotions and pretended to just come out of the audition room. Seeing me, Ethan was momentarily stunned. After a brief moment of confusion, his first reaction was to shield the young fling behind him. But soon, his expression returned to normal. Honey, what are you doing here? I'm here for an audition. Seeing Ethan's actions, my heart tightened. Just then, the young fling's head peeked out from behind Ethan. I tried to suppress the discomfort inside me and raised an eyebrow, smiling as I said, Aren't you going to introduce us? Hello, sister, my name is Emily, and I just turned 20. Her voice was crisp and pleasant, with a sweet smile on her face. If it weren't for the slight provocation in her words, I might have liked this lively young girl more. 20 years old. I seem to miss the provocation in Emily's words. This role might not be suitable for a 20-year-old girl. Is the female lead in Michael's new drama you? Ethan stared at me in surprise. How could it not be me? I replied with a smile. It's not. Ethan immediately denied it, saying, That's not what I meant. Ethan, you promised me. Emily shook Ethan's hand with a hint of grievance, her voice soft, truly heart-wrenching. Ethan gently pushed Emily's hand away, walked in front of me, and said, Honey, it's been 5 years since I acted. Soon we will be going on vacation to Venice, so why not give this opportunity to a newcomer? I looked at Ethan in disbelief. The young girl smiled. Yes, sister, you're already this old. You should make way for the young ones. The entertainment industry should be a stage for the young now. Emily's delicate and bright face was full of pride and flamboyance. In a daze, I seemed to see another person in that face. I studied Emily carefully, and suddenly, the face from 4 years ago seemed to overlap with the present one. I suddenly turned my head to Ethan and asked, What if I don't let it happen? Sophia, stop causing trouble. Don't forget what you promised me. Ethan's tone was serious, and his expression was quite displeased. You just need to play the role of Mrs. Ethan. Acting isn't something you should be doing. I suddenly laughed, feeling as if something had made the complicated situation clear all at once. What are you laughing at? Emily's eyes were filled with questions. I ignored her and pointed at her face, telling Ethan that her face really resembled hers. Ethan's expression changed, and he quickly grabbed my wrist. Sophia, what are you talking about? He squinted and asked me. I looked directly at him and said, I'm saying she looks a lot like Olivia. Doesn't she? Sophia, that's enough. Ethan angrily pushed me to the ground, saying, Sophia, if you give up this role, I won't pursue today's matter any further. I struggled to suppress the pain in my backside, propped myself up, and stood up. There's no way I'm giving this role to her. After saying that, I just walked away. In the distance, I could still hear Emily and Ethan arguing. Ethan, what does she mean? What is a stand-in? Who is Olivia? Who is Olivia? I couldn't help but snicker inside. Olivia was once a very famous actress. A few years ago, she chose to marry in secret and left the entertainment industry. 4 years ago, she was hospitalized due to a miscarriage. She has always been the most special person in Ethan's heart. Looking back now, I used to think Ethan chose to be with me because he had changed, but it was actually just because Olivia got married, which made him lose confidence. So why did he revert to his old self a year after we got married? That's because he has a special person in his heart. Even after going through so much pain, she still doesn't want to part with him. As I laughed, my tears couldn't help but flow down. My love, my marriage, it's all a false illusion. The idea that Ethan changed his mind for me is not true, because saying he married me out of love is also untrue. Yet I fell in love with him and the web of lies he wove. That night was the first time I discovered his new love, and Ethan didn't come back to comfort me immediately. In the past, whenever I found out he had a new girlfriend, he would always come back to comfort me right away, because he promised me that no matter how he played around outside, I would always be the most important person in his heart. In the evening, I received a local delivery, and when I opened it, it was the Hermes bag that Ethan promised to send me 2 days ago. Before I could react, my best friend called me. The role of the female supporting character I auditioned for today has been replaced, and taking my place is Ethan's first love stand-in, Emily. Ethan was unable to reach a consensus with Michael, so he went to the producer and expressed his willingness to invest $100 million in that film, saying that he could provide additional funding if needed later. His condition was for me to step down and let Emily take over the role. Seeing such an opportunity, the producer immediately agreed. It's just a supporting role, it's not particularly important, and I haven't signed a contract yet. After hanging up the phone, I looked at the just unpacked Hermes bag on the floor, feeling quite helpless. The influence of a first love is truly significant. Even a stand-in can make him go to such lengths to protect her, while as Ethan's wife, I don't even count as a stand-in. I picked up the bag, went upstairs, and opened the room filled with bags, all kinds of bags dazzling my eyes. The black crocodile leather Hermes bag on the top shelf of the left cabinet was the first gift Ethan gave me after I discovered his infidelity. I still remember the look of panic on his face when I first discovered his infidelity, and how careful he was. When the mistress provoked me, Ethan was always there to support me. He even cut off contact with her on the spot. But now, I can't help but chuckle at the irony. The roles have reversed, and Ethan is now protecting the mistress, while I am the one being targeted. I placed my newly bought bag in the last empty spot on the right side. My love for Ethan has become fragmented, and it can no longer continue. I closed the door and messaged my lawyer, asking him to redraft the divorce agreement. The next morning, Ethan, who hadn't come home all night, returned with a huge bouquet of flowers and some gifts. He set down the flowers and opened the gift, which contained a necklace. He bent down to put it on me, saying, "I'm sorry, my wife, I lost control of my emotions yesterday. But you shouldn't have said that outside. If someone heard, I would feel very embarrassed." I raised my hand to stop his actions and asked, "Is there anything wrong with what I said?" Ethan was taken aback for a moment, then pretended to be indifferent and said, "No matter what, you are my only wife." I pushed his hand away, asking, "Just a nominal wife? Sophia, isn't it better if some things remain unclear? Why do you have to pursue this? Does love really matter that much? You're already my wife, so why be so calculative?" Ethan frowned and said, "It seems I've been too lenient with you, causing you to lose your way. Since that's the case, just stay home and think about it. My new drama is about to air soon, and I won't be back for a while." After he finished speaking, he picked up his suit and walked out. Not long after, my best friend called me. She urgently told me that Ethan had spoken in the industry, wanting to blacklist me. Anyone who dared to use me would be opposing him. I found Ethan's actions somewhat amusing, but more than that, I felt a sense of relief inside. That afternoon, I put on the blue mermaid dress I wore when I first met Ethan, did my makeup, and went to the apartment where he proposed to me. The apartment hadn't been lived in for a long time and was covered in dust. The scene of Ethan's proposal replayed in my mind. That night, Ethan drank quite a bit. Although a little drunk, his words and the way he looked at me were very clear. "Sophia, will you marry me? I will take care of you and love you seriously for a lifetime. I hope you can marry me and give me the chance to make you happy, to grow old together." The familiar place reminds me of that sweet promise. But now, it feels like a candy wrapped in poison, only to reveal pain once unwrapped. My vision gradually blurred, and tears flowed uncontrollably. Suddenly, my phone in the bag rang, interrupting my thoughts. I took out my phone and saw a message. "Sister, look, as long as I act a little spoiled, the role that belongs to you can be mine. He spent $100 million for me. He said that he would give me anything I wanted, even his life. I don't understand why you insist on staying in Mrs. Ethan's position. He doesn't love you anymore. What is the meaning of staying there? By the way, about Olivia that you mentioned, I checked, and she's just an outdated woman. What qualifications does she have to compare with me?" I let out a cold laugh. I raised my hand to wipe away my tears, took out the printed divorce agreement from my bag, and placed the wedding ring on top of it. I took a photo and posted it on Weibo, writing that the divorce agreement is ready, and that director Ethan should remember to sign it. After a while, I checked Weibo and saw that the comments and likes had already exceeded 10,000, but Ethan still hadn't replied. I transferred some money to my best friend at the bank, and then we took the high-speed train to Hengdian together. Once we arrived in Hengdian, my friend and I didn't rest and went directly to meet her team to discuss the script. Is Ethan going to blacklist me? Then I'll try a new direction and shoot short dramas. After all, acting in any drama is still acting. Short dramas have a fast pace, the story isn't long, and they can be filmed quickly. A whole one can be finished in just a few days. I didn't expect to meet Olivia while recruiting actors for a period short drama. I didn't think I would encounter Olivia under these circumstances. The current Olivia is very different from the one who was lying in bed after a miscarriage 4 years ago. At that time, Olivia looked very unwell, a bit overweight, or rather swollen, because she had just been pregnant. That was the first time I saw Ethan so anxiously treating a woman, and that woman was someone else's wife. His eyes were filled with concern and worry, completely indifferent to my suffering from a high fever due to the flu. He spent the whole day and night in the hospital taking care of Olivia. If I hadn't really reached my limit and called my best friend to take me to the hospital, I might never have known he had someone like that in his heart. I still remember what he said to Olivia. Olivia, can you divorce him? As long as you get a divorce, I will take good care of you. Olivia did not agree to Ethan. Instead, she told him, we are both married now and have our own families. Stop entangling yourself. Treat your wife well. That's only fair to her. Olivia, don't you understand yet? The reason I got together with her back then was because you suddenly got married. I just wanted to make you angry. I clearly remember the heartache from that time. It felt like there were needles piercing through my veins, causing pain all over my body. Even breathing felt uncomfortable. I stood there, my hands and feet icy cold, listening to Ethan say those heart-wrenching words one by one. If Olivia's husband hadn't suddenly appeared, I think Ethan would have said even more hurtful things. At that time, my feelings were very complicated, both grateful and disappointed. The good thing was that it interrupted Ethan from saying something that might embarrass me. The disappointing part was that my love seemed to have never been pure from the very beginning. Later, Ethan explained to me that he was very angry when he saw Olivia that day, which is why he said those things. He said Olivia was his first love, and she did leave a mark on him, but since being with me, he has slowly let her go. He never considered divorcing me. Marrying me was a decision he made after careful thought. He takes care of Olivia because he finds it hard to accept what her husband did that caused her to fall down the stairs and lose the baby. He feels that maintaining a marriage for such a man is not worth it. He said that only incapable men would resort to hitting their women. It was this statement that resonated with me. I believe that a man who says such things, even if he has some flaws, wouldn't be too bad overall. I believe he has truly started to let go of Olivia. After all, he expressed himself so sincerely, and I happened to be deeply in love with him at that time. Some things, once a seed is planted in the heart, will continue to grow. I got divorced. Olivia's words suddenly interrupted my thoughts. I looked up at her, momentarily stunned. She smiled slightly and said that she actually got divorced 4 years ago. I just couldn't accept that he personally took our child. At this point, Olivia's voice choked up. I handed Olivia a tissue. She wiped her tears and said, now I'm almost forgetting, but that child, I will never forget. I'm sorry. I saw those things on Weibo and didn't expect it to be like this. You don't have to apologize to me. It has nothing to do with you. I smiled and said, men who want to cheat can always find plenty of excuses. That's true. However, seeing that girl who looked somewhat like me made me a bit uncomfortable. She was asking around about me in the circle, saying that even if I was the brightest star in his heart, I was already the kind that had disappeared. Olivia's face showed a hint of dissatisfaction. I didn't expect such a thing to happen. Thinking back to the messages Emily sent me, I understood. This young girl's thoughts are really quite different. But it does make one feel a bit foolish, especially when he said he was willing to give me everything I wanted, even his life. How can one believe what a man says in bed? It's just sweet talk to please the girl. Moreover, it's Ethan, a person who can easily abandon promises. He's truly someone who doesn't keep his word. When she said you were her greatest love, doesn't that also imply she sees herself as a backup? To lighten the mood, I made a joke. Sure enough, after I said that, the awkward atmosphere between Olivia and me seemed to ease a lot. In that case, being my stand-in would be acceptable. However, Ethan's idealized person also makes one feel a bit disgusted. Mentioning Ethan made Olivia's expression even more disdainful. To be honest, I did date him for a while when I was younger, but the reason I broke up with him was because he cheated. He just can't change his flirtatious ways. During the years we were together, he didn't look for anyone else. I thought he had changed for the better, but when I heard about his infidelity, I was truly at a loss for words. I was stunned for a moment, and the emotions I had bottled up suddenly felt released. I understand now. I've finally let go. Olivia told me that Ethan's infidelity is just a manifestation of human nature, something that cannot be changed. I used to think that Ethan was with me because his ideal woman, Olivia, was already married. In fact, the reason he cheated was because his ideal woman had a miscarriage, but he still didn't divorce her and remained with her. Thinking about it this way, Ethan and I have really been wronged by Olivia. So, why did you say you wouldn't get a divorce when Ethan asked you? Olivia was taken aback, looked at me strangely, and then replied that at the time, she felt Ethan had truly let go of you. I didn't want to affect your relationship because of me, nor did I want to get divorced over a man. If that happened, even if I was not in the wrong, I would still be in the wrong. To be honest, I didn't realize how important I was to Ethan at that time. When I had the miscarriage, he suddenly came to take care of me, which surprised and touched me. Later, I felt that maybe I was special to him because I was his first love and his first woman. Now hearing that girl asking around about me in the circle, the things she says make me feel really uncomfortable. I nodded in agreement. It really is quite off-putting. So why are you still going to shoot short dramas? In theory, Olivia was the best actress at that time, so she shouldn't have fallen to the point of filming short dramas. Mentioning this, Olivia's expression worsened. My ex-husband actually wants to blacklist me for his mistress. I couldn't help but laugh. It's too coincidental. I'm in the same situation. Olivia and I exchanged glances, the tension eased, and the atmosphere became more relaxed. From then on, Olivia and I started collaborating directly. My best friend is the screenwriter and director, while Olivia and I handle the acting. I mainly act in modern dramas, while Olivia focuses on period dramas. Occasionally, I would make a cameo in a period drama, and Olivia would also make a guest appearance in a modern drama. In these 3 months, we filmed at least 20 short dramas. The short dramas we produced went live on major short drama platforms, and a few even made it to trending. That day, when the short drama I starred in trended, Ethan called me. I pressed the answer button. Darling, don't be angry anymore. Ethan said on the other end of the line, where are you now? I'll come to pick you up. If you really want to act, I can invest and personally take you to shoot. I pursed my lips. I'm not angry. Have you signed the divorce agreement? Dear, don't say things in anger. Didn't I tell you before? Divorce is just a performance. I won't really divorce you. Ethan's tone became serious. I'll post on Weibo to pursue you again right away. Can you cooperate with me on this? I thought I would feel at least a bit reluctant when it came to divorce. But now I feel nothing at all, even seeming a bit calm. Ethan, I'm not sulking or saying this lightly. I really want to divorce you. This is true. I've told you many times before. This is a decision I've seriously considered, just like you thought carefully before getting married. Honey, where are you now? I'll come find you right away. Let's talk face to face. If you don't like Emily, I'll immediately cut ties with her. Can you stop being angry, okay? Whatever role you want among the female supporting characters, I can help you get it back. Ethan's voice sounded a bit tense, but I don't want to listen anymore. It's fine. I don't need it. If you don't have anything else, I'm going to hang up. After the divorce agreement is signed, remember to contact me. I will go back with you to get the divorce certificate. I hung up the phone, realizing that getting Ethan to divorce might not be that simple. So I quickly messaged my lawyer and moved the plan forward. What I didn't expect was that the first person to contact me after moving the plan forward was Emily. She called and texted me like crazy. I didn't answer the call, but I read the messages she sent. Sophia, what's going on with you? Why are you taking those things back? Those were gifts from Ethan to me. What right do you have to do this? On what basis are you kicking me out of this house? That was a gift from Ethan to me. And my bank card, what right do you have to freeze my account? I raised an eyebrow. The little girl didn't call me sister this time? What a little girl. She's quite anxious. Look, Ethan's other exes haven't contacted me until now. I rubbed my temples and suddenly thought of sending Emily a message because I am the legal wife. As long as I don't divorce, you will always be the mistress. As Ethan's official wife, I have the right to reclaim anything he gave you. After all, those things are half mine. I thought about it and sent her another message. After all, he spent my money taking care of you, while you never took care of me. I don't want to give up my share of the property for nothing. Why don't you show some concern for me too? Why not try to act a little cute first? After sending the message, I couldn't help but smile. Olivia walked in and asked what good thing had happened. You're smiling so happily. I showed her my phone. After she finished reading, she gave me a thumbs up and said, your trick is really impressive. Suddenly she had an idea, opened a social media app, and soon after laughed, Sophia, your trick is really brilliant. Now Ethan has become everyone's laughingstock, and you haven't even let go of his minor mishap from 4 years ago. I smiled a little. Of course, I made a list for the lawyer based on the bag in that room. Once I get that money, we can grow and expand. Within 2 days, Ethan couldn't help but call me and agreed to the divorce. When Ethan messaged me that he had signed the divorce agreement, I had just left Hengdian. It's been 3 months since we last met, and I feel a bit unfamiliar with Ethan. He looks more depressed than before, with noticeable dark circles under his eyes that he can't hide at all. Sophia, do you really want to do this? Ethan's eyes are filled with deep affection as he looks at me. I got into his car and asked, have you prepared the household registration book? Let's hurry, the Civil Affairs Bureau will close soon. Sophia, I was really wrong. Can you forgive me? I promise. I've already broken up with her. Ethan held my hand, his tone pleading. I promise I won't seek anyone else in the future. I will always be with you. Let's live well together. How about that? If you like kids, we can have a few more. Sophia, please don't divorce me, okay? I don't really want to continue this topic, pulling my hand away and saying, stop talking about love, it's really not that important. Besides, I don't love you anymore either. Ethan was taken aback for a moment, as if recalling what he had said to me before. I was wrong. I'm really sorry, my wife. I understand my mistake. Can you not divorce me? Please don't leave me? Ethan's voice was a bit choked, his eyes full of pleading. Seeing him like this, I didn't feel soft-hearted. Instead, I found it a bit ironic. After all, I had once begged him like this. But he always falls back into his old ways. I closed my eyes and said, Ethan, it's too late now. Have you seen the room where I put my bags? All the bags inside are gifts you gave me after your affair. There must have been quite a few people looking for you these past few days, right? They are all your former lovers. After I said that, Ethan's emotions suddenly became very complex. After a long time, he asked, Sophia, is there really no way to salvage this? I didn't answer. Ethan started the car and drove toward the Civil Affairs Bureau. After registering at the Civil Affairs Bureau, I reminded him that I hope he can help me complete the final process together in a month. Just like how I cooperated with you acting back then, I hope you can cooperate with me this time as well. Okay, Ethan replied to me in a somewhat hoarse voice. I turned to leave, but Ethan asked me, if that day I hadn't taken your role for Emily, would you not have divorced me? I stopped in my tracks and said, no, that's not it. No matter if it's for Emily or not, I will ultimately choose to divorce you. I slightly turned my face and said, Ethan, what I didn't finish saying earlier is that the room for storing bags is already full. Your bag that you gave me took up the last spot. After saying that, I turned and walked away quickly. The feelings in my heart won't cool down in just one day, and love doesn't disappear in a day either. Actually, Ethan is quite a special person. He doesn't truly love anyone, but he has a bit of concern for everyone. Perhaps he had fleeting feelings for me once, but that was just a temporary stay. I'm not sure if his current regret is genuine. All I know is that I once truly loved Ethan, and now I no longer love him. That's a fact. A month later, the short play that Olivia and I starred in was released, and on the first day, it exceeded 100 million views, making us both true queens of short dramas. Ethan didn't do anything strange. He came with me to get the divorce certificate. Holding the divorce certificate, I noticed the sunlight in the distance was just right. Facing the sunlight, I raised the divorce certificate, took a photo, and posted it on Weibo, divorced, wishing my ex-husband happiness and a wonderful life ahead.